Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, this is Lower Kissonerga. We've come from Coral Bay and we're going to keep going on the main coast road, which links Paphos to Coral Bay, or Coral Bay to Paphos, whichever way you may be going. There's potholes absolutely everywhere. The roads, well, they're Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure. So if your name is Lady Sweet Caroline, get your bottom on a memory foam pillow, and just before you do, pour a tot or two for the man known as Lord Nigel Big Guns. It'll just soften the ride that little bit. So here we are, we're coming into Lower Kissonerga. There's shops and restaurants all around us. You've got the Arabica coffee shop on the left hand side, and you've got the Rafe coffee shop on the right hand side, and you've got villas for sale, you've got supermarkets, you've got gift shops, you've got the Revival fashion shop for the ladies, you've got Paphos Computers, you've got House of Paws if your name is Bobo and you want to go and get groomed properly. Although I'd be careful if I was you. Anyway, IKEA Gora, that's a supermarket that sells a lot of British themed products, and there's hotels and there's all sorts of bits going on. Anyway, stick with us. This is the descent into downtown Paphos. There's a lady with a thumb out, but of course we're not actually going to give her a lift because, of course, well, we're making a YouTube video, so it would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Although she may have been very interesting to have a conversation with. So this is the coast road that takes you from Kissonerga, and we're going to go towards the Tomb of the Kings area. That's where the little video is going to end. And I warn you now, if you're on the road, if you've borrowed a car, stolen a car, hired a car, or perhaps someone has kindly lent you a car, stick to the speed limits, because the boys in blue, they're absolutely everywhere, and I promise you, they're waiting just for you. The speed limit on these roads in and around Paphos is 50 kilometers an hour, and they're quite generous, so you're allowed to go 19 kilometers an hour over the speed limit before they actually book you. So if you drive around about 60 kilometers an hour, you'll be all right, shall we say. And again, try and stay off your mobile phone, because if they catch you, it's a €300 fine on the spot if you're a foreigner. So not very pleasant. Put it on speakerphone and put it between your legs or something like that. There we go. Right, so we're coming into the area known now as Clorica. So there's a lot of villages along this main coast road, so if you are parched and you want a coffee or a can of Coke or even a can of Pepsi Max with a bit of cherry in it, if your name's Miss Andrea, all the way from Norfolk, there's always somewhere for you to stop. Poppadom's Indian restaurant was there on the left hand side. You've got a parade of restaurants on our right hand side. And Wisdom Restaurant, what's that one there? The New Horizon Pub, again very popular. That's the Marios Crazy Golf Course, and you can also play crazy golf football. That's a new one for you. There it is, see? There we are. Golf football, or foot golf, I think he's calling it. If you want to get a bit of pottery, that could be the perfect place for you to go. And if you want to go and stay in the Leonardo Laura Beach and Splash Resort, well, that's on the right hand side. And we're coming up to the St George Crossroads, and down there is a hotel called the St George Hotel, a luxury beachside hotel, and apparently it's got adults only, so you never know, one of these days they might allow us to storm that hotel and have a quick look around it, especially for you. Angelica Restaurant, Taverna Cafe. See, confusion in Cyprus. Is it a taverna? Is it a restaurant? Is it a cafe? Well, it's all three. If you want something good to eat, and a particularly good pizza, by the way, the Angelica Taverna is a very, very good one indeed. On the other side of the road, you've got the Tbilisi Georgian kitchen, and that makes traditional Georgian cuisine. And if you haven't tasted it, well, go and have a look, because sensible prices, good portions, good service, and very, very tasty indeed. Spicy, but not too spicy. You've got the UKCA Club, that's an expat club on the left hand side. You've got Premier Electrical coming up on the left hand side, and that's the refreshed 24-hour kiosk supermarket on the right hand side. So there's an awful lot of things in downtown Clorica for you to go and have a quick look at if you're in this area. But remember, if you are in an apartment or a hotel in this area, you are about an hour's walk from Paphos, okay? So bear that in mind. You're going to need to get on a bus or hire a car or a moped or something like that. So don't be thinking it's just down the road. It's not. Okay. And when I say an hour, I'm being well, I'm being conservative, isn't it? Because, you know, you've got to allow for all sorts of different fitnesses and people with children and all those kind of things. I've no doubt if your name's Miss Justine and Mr. Andy from Staffordshire, and you've got a blue BMW, you like to wiggle its rear end, and hopefully Ollie the dog is feeling so much better after he's been, well, what should we say? He's been tampered with. There we are. If you are of that vein, well, you're probably going to walk it in about 35 to 40 minutes. But remember, in the summer, it is very, very hot indeed. So make sure you take some water with you. Slowly but surely now, we are approaching the area known as Tomb of the Kings. And before we get there, where this big bus is coming out of, this is the King Eleathan Hotel, or as I like to call it, the King Elephant Hotel. Luxury 5-star hotel, which kisses the coastline of downtown Paphos. A very, very popular hotel indeed, and you never know, my cuz King James, his Queen Karine, and their Princess Darlie may be staying there very, very soon, because that's where they stayed last time, and they said it was very, very good indeed. And most people who stay there tell us it's a fantastic hotel, and we have visited it once or twice, and we think it's very posh, and we like the entrance because it's all blue, that's for sure. Now, Aliceland Restaurant with a spectacular view, that's on the right hand side. Great view out towards the blue Mediterranean Sea. And this is the final descent into Paphos, and slowly but surely we're going to hit the Tomb of the Kings Road. The little sign there says Paphos. There we go. So we have arrived in downtown Paphos town. And there's quite a lot of traffic on the road, by the way, considering it's an Easter weekend, as it builds up when we get into town, doesn't it? But and it's that funny time of day where people are running around for lunch, shall we say. And if you're curious to know what the weather is, perhaps if your name is Miss Dawn and you've got a husband called Mr. Sean, you've got a little cat called Miss Daisy and a dog called Bobo, well, the temperature is in and around 23 degrees. Yes, it is warming up quite rapidly. Come back in another week or so, I think we're going to be, well, nudging up to the 30s is what I think. That's what I think it's going to be. Curious to know about the price of benzene, $1.50 or just under per litre. So if you're wondering how to fund the channel, well, all you have to do is click through to our About page where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two, and we'll pop it in the tank and sometimes buy a coffee with it. But that's how the channel's funded. YouTube doesn't pay us very much, if you understand. And if you want a special video for you, well, hit that button 2 or 3 times. Let us know in the comments where you want us to go. And guess what? That video will be coming very, very soon. So technically this is Tomb of the Kings Avenue. If you look very, very carefully up in the blue sky, you will see a big bird coming into town, and that means there's 250-ish people coming to downtown Paradise, and they're going to have a great holiday, that's for sure. This is Little on Tomb of the Kings Road. Across the road to that is the Venus Beach, 5-star luxury beachside hotel. Again, if you go looking in the YouTube search bar, Marika and me, Venus Beach Hotel, you'll find us wandering around that hotel. And now you've got a restaurant after restaurant coming up, and there's a place called Jimmy's Killer Prawns. And as I said in a previous video, one of these days I'm going to go and ask Jimmy to kill 1 or 2 prawns for me, because it sounds tasty, that's for sure. Now this bus here is probably taking 1 or 2 superstars back to the airport, because as we understand it came out of the King Eleathan Hotel. So unfortunately for these people, their holiday is probably over, and we hope they had a great time, and we hope that they will come back again very, very soon. Because there's one thing that's for sure: the sky is blue, the sea is blue, Mr. Paul is dressed head to toe in blue. Paphos is a spectacular place to come for a holiday, so get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy. There's an awful lot of people that like to mosey on down in Paphos, and there's an awful lot of people that would like to come. There's a superstar all the way out in Russia. Her name is Miss Hope, and she can think of nothing else than to get on a big bird and come to downtown Paphos. Miss Hope, one day we hope that you will come, and we hope that we will dance the Chuchuchka down the downtown Paphos promenade with yourself and well, a few other people, let's hope. Tomb of the Kings, that's where we are now. This roundabout, you go to the right hand side and you go into the archaeological site known as Tomb of the Kings. Not my cup of tea, but many people do like it, and many people pop in. It's only $2.50 a pop to go and visit it, and if your name's Miss Andrea and Mr. Mart, well, Mr. Mart dragged Miss Andrea. She wasn't too enamoured with the walk, and and I think she wanted to go to McDonald's on the way back, but we kindly put her out of her misery, and we picked her up and whisked her back to the downtown Kid of Paphos promenade, and they went and had lunch, if I remember rightly. And they were staying in the Dionysus Hotel, by the way, and they were here in February, and the weather was spectacular, and the hotel had only just opened after a refurb, and she said it was absolutely fabulous. And of course, some other people more recently that stayed there, we've got our new friends, the superstars from just outside Darlington, and who are they? Well, let me think. Miss Catherine and Mr. Reed. Well, they had a great holiday in the Dionysus, and they accosted us, and we sat with them, and we had a great chat. And he's a man who likes a Maserati or two, and if you've got a hotel and you want some linen, that's the man to get in touch with, that's for sure. Big hello and a big shout out to you too, that's for sure. So, Tomb of the Kings Avenue on a spectacular day. That's the bus site, there it is. It's the bus terminal. It's going to open up in the next couple of weeks if your name is Viking Ronnie. That's T for 2 on Tomb of the Kings. I would imagine they've had quite a busy day. Stays pretty busy all day, to be honest, from breakfast time all the way through. In fact, I'm feeling a bit hungry, and I fancy a breakfast even though it's lunchtime. So T for 2 does a breakfast all day. So guess what? After this video, I'm going to go and get a breakfast, that's for sure. We've got the King's Restaurant and the King's Hotel coming up on our left hand side as well, and then across the road to that is the King Damien Hotel, and we know some superstars who are staying in there as we speak. Yes, the baby Barnhawk and Harry the Keeper, they're in there, of the Barnhawk clan. So that means John and Louise are in town as well, and we're going to go and hunt them down and have a drink or two with them as well. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, want to hit the like, click subscribe, and perhaps come back for that little bit more of my complete and utter insanity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. There we are, that's what pavements are for.